Lichess. 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 Chess. Chess. Lichess. 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 Chess.
Testing, 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 testing. Oh, it's a little loud. I guess I can turn myself down. How does that sound, everybody? How does that sound to you? I mean, I know that my voice is. Oh boy, that is too loud. I know that my voice is naturally beautiful. I want you to not think about that right now. I just imagine that I have a normal sounding voice that isn't, breathtakingly beautiful. How does it sound, outside of that? Like, I'm asking about the technical setup, not the poetry of my dulcet tones. Although I guess you could, say positive things about that if you wanted to. I wouldn't stop you. We're doing things differently today. Very, very differently. And I'm slightly worried that things will go wrong. But, that happens in life sometimes. That's okay. That's okay. How does this look? I have a new... I've purchased, for the purposes of this stream, I bought a endless void, right? I'm told that the streamers like to talk in an endless void of nothingness. And I gotta say, it's pretty great. It's very easy to focus, you know? A lot of times there are distractions or things going on. There's just nothing here. It's very zen. Very zen. You'll also notice my hand disappears about right there. That's the end of the void. How's everybody doing? So the difference today, or the thing that is different from previous streams, is how I will be getting questions. So typically I was getting questions from chat, which I may still do today a little bit, but the system we're using today is that people submit questions via a Twitter thread, a Facebook thread, an Instagram story, and a Lichess forum post. And I'm hoping, my idea is that the chat will be able to be used for chatting. You know, we can discuss whatever I'm saying or whatever comes up, instead of just, spamming questions. Very often people that are very insistent that they want to get their question answered will just, put it in chat every 5 minutes exactly. And that makes chat less enjoyable, in my opinion. You don't have any social media? Well, do you have a Lichess account? I don't feel like that's an excuse. If you can make a forum post, you can ask me your question. The other thing is that it will give a, I'm already hesitating to say this as I say it, a somewhat scientific way of seeing what people want to hear about, right? Or what the most popular questions are, so I can give them some provenance. I can kick them to the front of the line, right? The other thing I'm going to do is I tend to kind of answer the same questions a lot. Not always, but there's 3 or 4 questions that kind of always get asked. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer them like one last time today. And then I'm going to make a YouTube video from that answer, assuming I nail it the first time and don't say something dumb. And then we'll just, that'll be the last time I answer the question, and we can just link this when it comes up later. We should have a chat command where somebody gives the forum post. Are there any mods in chat who could do me a real solid and make a command that links the forum post if people want to check? It might be a little late to get questions in, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know how any of this will go. My face is in light mode. Yeah, that's the problem with the void, is that I put light on myself and it makes my forehead very shiny. So no comments about my shiny forehead, please. That will be an insta ban from not just from Twitch, but from the website as well, from Lichess. And I've put chat over here. I'm trying to be a proper streamer that watches chat at all times. And so I put it on my monitor over here, and I'm kind of not enjoying that. I'd rather have a little bit closer to my field of vision, but whatever, let's get started. Before I go into questions, I wanted to talk, usually I talk a little bit about what Lichess has been up to or what's new, and there's something that is actually not so new, although there's one new there's one new individual form of this thing, although we've been doing it for a long time, and I want to just mention it for a couple minutes before we get to the questions, and that is our blog posts, which we worked very hard on, and I just wanted people to know about in case you didn't know about them. So, the most recent blog post we released was about the recent FIDE sponsorship deal for women's chess. They signed up a breast implant manufacturer, and they are a slightly dodgy breast implant manufacturer, assuming that there's any other kind, which there might not be. And we took some anonymous comments from women chess players, and I won't do the YouTube thing where I just read the entire article. You can read the article yourself if you're interested. But I think it is fantastic work. I was involved with putting it together as a researcher, and I'm super, super proud of it, and I encourage everyone to check it out. We've done lots of other blog posts. Maybe you saw our Fat Fritz blog posts. Stockfish is one of our open source comrades, and more than that, the Stockfish software is actually a very critical component of Lichess infrastructure and of the infrastructure of just about every chess website, every big chess website at least. And ChessBase did some sort of dodgy things with Stockfish. Again, I won't read the article. You guys can check it out yourself if you're interested. And we covered the whole thing here in a couple of articles. We did one article, and then we did another article when the Stockfish team decided to sue. Why Lichess will always be free. This article is important because a lot of the questions that I see seem to just fundamentally misunderstand what Lichess is, or how we see things, or what we are like. And they ask questions that you would otherwise not ask. All of these questions you ask, please keep in mind, Lichess is not a business. It's not a company. There are no shareholders. There are no investors, right? No one cares about quarterly profits. No one cares about yearly profit. No one cares about profits, right? We need money to keep the lights on. We need money to pay our bills. But more money is not always better than slightly less money, right? And if you don't understand that, then the answers to the questions aren't going to make sense. So I'll cut to the chase here. Let's see. Where is this question that brought this up? One moment. Can I find it? Oh, no, I can't. Okay. Basically, there was a question that said something like, if you had ads... I wanted to read people's names, but I can't find it. If you had ads on Lichess, would you have less server issues? Now, first of all, I don't think we have that many server issues. I can't remember off the top of my head whenever the last time we had any significant downtime was, so it couldn't have been too recent. But that kind of isn't the point, because the answer to will we put ads on Lichess is no. No forever. No under any circumstances. This is a core value. It is not negotiable. You will never talk us out of it, ever. There is no scenario where Lichess has ads or paywalls or trackers that is realistic. There is no scenario where Lichess has that thing that does not rely on, Thibaut getting hit by a bus and me getting hit by a bus and anyone else involved with Lichess who is left getting hit by a bus. We're not doing it, right? And the article here explained things well. I'll give you a quick TLDR. There's nothing good about ads from the perspective of a person using a website, right? Nobody ever sees a website and says, wow, that website was great, but I wish it had some ads. Like, of course not, right? The ads are not for you using the website. The ads are for the people that own the website to make the money. Maybe you think that they would make enough money that they would use that money to make the website better, and then, you can rob Peter to pay Paul, and it all works out in the end. It's not quite how we see things. If you want to make your website that way, that's fine, but we don't. Our goal is only to make the best website, and if your goal is only to make the best website, you would never put ads in it, ever, right? You would never put trackers in it, and you would never put paywalls in it. That never makes the website in a vacuum by itself better, if that makes sense. I think we can get to questions now. Let's see, what's our first question going to be? I wanted to do the question first and get it out of the way. The question, not a question, the question is the one that everyone always asks. It is far and away the most popular question on all of these AMAs. I was sort of trying to prepare, and I was like, we're going to knock this question out once and for all. We're going to take a big swing at its chin, and we're going to put it on the mat, and you're never going to hear about it ever again. And then I'm going to put that in a YouTube video, and we never have to talk about it again. So let me find one person that asked this. Shoot. Where is it? Oh man, we have so many Instagram questions as well. I mean, I might just skip to the question if I can't find it. Okay, So the question is about Bughouse, of course. We always get asked why, people don't ask why have you not implemented Bughouse. They ask in a very demanding way, which I find humorous. No one ever says, will you have Bughouse or why don't you have Bughouse? They say, when will you have Bughouse? Which sort of implies that we meant to imply Bughouse and then forgot, or we're sort of procrastinating or a little bit flaky and we never get around to it. Like, I don't recall ever telling anyone we were going to have Bughouse, so I understand that you want it. That's fine. You're allowed to ask for things, but it's not an accident that we don't have Bughouse. Nobody arrives to work at Lichess and says, "Oh no, we were supposed to make Bughouse like a week ago. I thought you were gonna do it." No, there's no Bughouse, and it's a formal decision. But before I get into why, I think I need to explain about feature request in general. I think when people ask for things on Lichess, they don't understand what they're asking for exactly. And so they don't understand the response. Very often someone will show up in our Discord, and I highly recommend our Discord. If anyone is inclined to do Discord things, you should join the Lichess Discord. Our Discord is great. You can talk to all the devs. You can talk to me if I'm around. Anyway, people come on the Discord and they say, what if you did this with the website? What if we had this game? What if we did this? What if there was this button that did this? And the response from the Lichess people is, yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah, that sounds good. And then the person understandably expects that will soon be on the website. They're like, well, I talked to the Lichess people. I gave them my idea. They said it makes sense. They said it's a reasonable idea. That was a week ago. Where's the feature? You're supposed to have upside down 3D cup holders like you promised me a week ago. You said it was a good idea. And the reason that happens is because that is just not quite how it works. What people are not understanding is that the number of reasonable ideas of things to add to Lichess is infinite. And the number of people that can implement those ideas and then take care of them and then maintain them is finite. So there will always be good ideas or things that we would agree would be nice to have that are not on Lichess. So how do we decide what makes the cut? What's the difference between a good idea that gets to Lichess and the good idea that doesn't get to Lichess? Well, we do the math in our head, and the things we're comparing is the complexity of the feature and how it fits with the current website infrastructure and how many people we think would use it. We can't really know how many people would use it. We can make educated guesses. If it's very popular, if something similar is very popular on another part of the internet, that suggests that it would be popular on Lichess. If people ask for it a lot, that suggests it would be popular. You never really know. The complexity part is what most people miss, right? Every time you implement something new on a website, you need to take care of it forever. It needs to be maintained forever. In theory, you could deprecate it and take it off, but man, we try not to do that. That is bad. If you want to see how much people complain when they don't have Bughouse, imagine if we did have Bughouse and then took it away. Oh boy. If we are going to implement something, we plan to have it forever, right? And the amount of work that you put into coding the feature is very, very little compared to the amount of work you will put into maintaining the feature over all of its life, right? Over the course of its lifetime. So in that sense, implementing a feature is sort of like having a child, if I can follow this metaphor a bit. Making the feature is not the problem. Making the feature is actually sort of fun. The problem is the years and decades of taking care of the feature, of taking the feature to the doctor, of paying for the feature's college, right? Of worrying when the feature doesn't come home late at night, and then arguing with them and grounding them and putting them in their room. Thus, responsible adults do not willy-nilly implement features all over the country with different platforms. They only implement features when they feel that they are at a point in their life when they can give those features the love and support that all features deserve. Does that make sense? Have I explained that? Is the metaphor landing at all? Okay, I saw one person in chat say yes, it makes sense, so I will take that as a yes. So let's look at Bughouse in that rubric along those lines. So would Bughouse be popular? Yeah, I think so. You know, it wouldn't immediately be like half the traffic on the site, but it would be popular. There are other places on the internet that you can play Bughouse, and I guess they do okay. I guess I don't really know. A lot of people ask for Bughouse, so I think it would be reasonably popular. Variants as a whole are only something like 1% of the site, but that doesn't mean that we don't care. 1% is a lot of people. You know, that's not nothing. So I think on that end, Bughouse scores pretty well. I think people would use it. Let's talk about complexity, because there it does not score so well. All of the games you play on Lichess have 2 players. Bughouse has 4 players. So we need a totally new interface that has 4 players. That's not the end of it. People need to find a game. So the Seek system now needs to have 4 players. It only has 2 right now. Are the games going to be rated? Because we need to have a rating system for 4 players. Current rating system is only for 2 players. This is getting scary. This is starting to not look great. It adds a lot of complexity to the website, which means a lot of maintenance time. I have no doubt that we could cover the maintenance time. I have no doubt that we have the devs who are hardworking and clever and resourceful, and they would take care of Bughouse and it would be fine. But here's the problem. Every second they spend taking care of Bughouse, they are not taking care of other features, and they are not implementing the next new feature. So that is the hidden cost of every new thing that you implement on a website, is that it slows down fixing every bug, and it slows down implementing the next new feature. So at the moment, we are not especially interested in implementing Bughouse for that reason. I would be surprised if it was implemented in the short term. I would be surprised if it was implemented in the medium term. Could it be implemented in the long term? Am I saying that it will never, ever, ever, forever, under any circumstances, be implemented? I don't know, man. Forever is a long time. That one is hard to say. I will not say forever. I will say I will bet I'll bet the mortgage that it won't appear in the next week. If you go beyond that, I'm getting scared to bet, but I still feel pretty confident. Royal Fork 66 is outraged. I'm glad. I'm very happy about that. So I hope that explains everything with Bughouse. Oh, here's the other one. I saw somebody mention it in chat, but it also has been asked before. I wanted to show the questions. One moment. Here we go. So my friend Nivedit _ Santosh actually doesn't ask a question here. There is no question, and there's a lot of caps, and there are... I'm sorry, I said the wrong name. Chosan's16. And there are 3 different messages. Bring back followers. This is what I say. We should vote for bring back followers. Man, he got a lot of thumbs down. Okay, that's not nice. Don't thumbs down. It's a reasonable... He could have maybe been more polite, but it's like, you know, he's not crazy to want followers. Let's talk about followers. Let's talk about what happened with followers, because there were there weren't many follower questions. There were some follower questions. And I think it's an interesting thing to talk about. So, first of all, you need to know what happened. I saw people talking about it, and they were saying, like, Lichess doesn't have followers anymore, which is not true. That is a total untruthitude. That never happened. So let's go to a profile page here. Here is my profile. This is me. Very proud of it. I have all of my accoutrements here, all the things I'm proud of. But there's something missing. Something missing compared to, what was it? I don't know, a month ago or something. Followers are still on Lichess. They still do all the things that followers have always done. What do followers do? You can follow an account, and it will show up in your friends list in the lower right. The people you are following will populate notifications to the timeline on the homepage. So if they make a forum post, it will give you a notification. If they write a blog, if they stream, probably if they make a study or like a study, those things appear. There is a page where you can see the list of people you're following, if there's a lot of them. What else? There are privacy settings, so there's a setting where only people you follow can send you direct messages. All of that still exists. All of that is still on Lichess. Here is what has changed. The number on the profile that says how many followers you have used to be about right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. It used to be here next to forum posts, and now it is not. So that's the change. Your number of followers is no longer listed on your profile, your total number of followers. You can still see activity here. So you can see I've picked up some followers, or how many I've picked up, but only for the last week, only for the activity. Can't see followers anymore. Why do we do that? What was the point? Well, it was discussed. It was discussed hotly, and I think it's perfectly fair for people to have different opinions. But this is the justification I would offer for not having followers. And it's not just a justification. I believe it too. The social features of Lichess and the social features of the internet in general have some very good things and some very bad things. So what are the good things? You can communicate with your friends. You can make new friends. You can do mass communications for an organization or where one person talks to a lot of people. You can make cool blogs, and your people are more likely to find them based on the social features and cool studies and cool streams and so on and so forth. All of that is good. There are some negative things as well. People really, really want to look at their profile and see a large follower number. They want to see it get a little bit larger from yesterday. They want to see it a lot larger from a month ago. They want to see it dramatically larger from a year ago. And if they don't, it feels bad. And this has been studied scientifically, not just by Nojoke, by scientists. And there is some hard evidence that this sort of thing has negative effects on people. I would encourage people to look into the research. I saw a study on Instagram and on Facebook about how this, what shall we call it? This follower lust affects you. So to that end, many people on Lichess do very abusive things to try to up their follower number. They will make fake accounts and then make the accounts follow them. They will beg for followers in public chats. They will beg for followers in the forums. They will set up bots that do all sorts of nefarious things that follow people or that ask for followers. And this is not good for the infrastructure of Lichess, and it's not good for the psychology of the Lichess users. So what we're trying to do is to get the good things without the bad things. So there is some indication of how much your activity is being seen. So for example, if you write a blog, you can see how many people like it still. If you make a study, you can see how many people like it. You can see your last week of followers. You cannot see the total number. And I think there is a good chance that this way of interacting with followers will be more enjoyable, will be more healthy, will be more rewarding in the end than the old way of having one number that slowly ticks up and it's never ticking up quite as fast as you'd like it to be. I don't know. What do you think in chat? People can disagree. I have heard reasonable people have a different opinion on all that and see things the other way. And I don't think they're crazy. They make excellent points. I'm going to look at chat for a second. Let's see what you think. People are agreeing. Sounds reasonable. How will I become a Lichess influencer? Okay. People are liking it. All right. My mental health is affected because there's no bug house. Well, I got nothing for you, pal. Sorry. You're out of luck. There's only one kind of negative mental health consequences that we're attacking right now. Since losing my follower count, my sponsorship has been taken away. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry about that. You should communicate it more clearly. Okay, well, that's what I'm trying to do now. All right, I think we can move on. I think that's enough about followers. I didn't see like one person disagree in chat. I'm sort of suspicious now. There should be one person in chat. I don't know, maybe they were like cursed at me or said a racial epithet or something and got banned, but there should be at least one person in chat like, you're wrong about everything, Nojoke, I hate you. There's always people getting very angry about dark mode. I don't know why you care so much. Hey, can we talk about dark mode and light mode? The light mode prejudice is really too much. You know, if you like dark mode, it's fine. I use dark mode a lot. I use both. I'm not gonna like get up and show you my office here, but when I'm in my office and it's, 10 o'clock at night and the sun is down, I use dark mode. Sometimes I like to get out of the office, get a little fresh air. So I'll go out to my patio right here and there's a blazing sun. There's just the light of a gigantic star just saturating the whole world with light. And do you know which Lichess I use in that moment? I use light mode, because that's what it's for. I'm inside now, so I should have dark mode. Somebody's going to point that out. All right, let me find another question here. What are we going to talk about next? Let's see. Let's just pick some Instagram questions here. I want to try and take a question from like every platform, at least one, probably more than one. So here's some Instagram questions. Samuel says, how come I can't see how many followers I have anymore? We talked about that. I want to know if any of my games are between tactics. Oh, yes. Many people have games in tactics. Let's see if I can find that. I should have had the link ready. Yes, if you go into your puzzle dashboard, you will see a feature where you can put in a username and see if there are any Lichess tactics come from that account. And if you have a fairly old account with a lot of games, the chances that you have a puzzle are actually excellent, because there's like, I think, over 1 million puzzles. So, if you do the math on that one, I think my account has 7 or 8 or something, and I've played over 10,000 games. Who founded Lichess? My good friend and colleague, Thibaut Duplessis, is the founder of Lichess. It was a hobby site, I guess we'll say, and then slowly grew and grew until it became the website it is today. Why is Lichess so good? I don't know. I feel like that's not a real question. You're just trying to, that's a stealth compliment. You're pretending to ask questions, but it's really a compliment. You can't fool me. You cannot fool me. Let's take a Facebook question. I could not make the Facebook interface look pretty on OBS. The Facebook is just fundamentally ugly in terms of its interface and its ethics. So I'm just going to read it to you. Valentin Koval asks, can you share a normal way to extract players' ratings by web queries? Can you add custom time formats for organizing club tournaments, meaning X days for rounds? Well, there's 2 questions there. You can extract players' ratings and lots of other things about the any account by using the API. Lichess.org/API is the documentation. Should be everything you need right there. Absolutely. The second one was about custom time formats. We sort of have that. Lichess Swiss tournaments have like manually started rounds. So basically, the first round is at a certain time, and then the second round, and then basically the tournament owner will be prompted to say when the next round starts, which is sometimes useful for tournament organizers to sort of adjust on the fly. The other thing you can do is that you can do literally every tournament format imaginable by using the API to make the games, and many people do. So many organizers, like for example, St. Louis Chess Club, when they did Clutch Chess over the summer was the name of their events. They played on Lichess. Nakamura and Carlson and Aronian and whoever else, super GMs. They're sitting at their computer with like Lichess on their browser, and then the tournament organizers hit some buttons, make an API call, and then the game pops up for them and they start playing, right? So if you know how to make those API pairings, you can make any sort of pairing you like at any time you like between any two players you like, and so on and so forth. And if you're really clever, you can make a script to do it for you. If you're really clever, you can make a web interface to do it for you. I would encourage people to investigate that if you are interested in some exotic tournament format. Is the Lichess Twitch stream going to become a regular thing? It will not become a regular thing. It is a regular thing. Yesterday, and it is star-studded. Is that a word that I can use? The Lichess Twitch stream is star-studded. Yesterday we had the esteemed international master John Bartholomew, one of the most beloved men in chess, second only to Nojoke. Today we have the most beloved man. On Wednesday we have Grandmaster Vasif Durarbeli, who is something like the 120th best chess player in the world. We had Mamedyarov not too long ago. We've had Anish Giri in the past. We've had Peter Svidler in the past. If that isn't star-studded, then I do not know what a star is. I'm going to take a question from chat. Why not? And I'm going to store one of those questions I see for later because that's one of the ones I meant to answer. Somebody in chat asks, why is there such a difference in puzzle rating and real rating? Well, I'm going to give you kind of a meta answer. I'm going to give you kind of a psychedelic answer to that question. A slightly Buddhist answer to that question. There is no such thing as real rating. That phrase is meaningless. There are lots of different kinds of ratings. And calling one of them the real rating is just your opinion, man. I don't know how else to put it. When people say real rating, they generally mean FIDE classical rating, but I suppose like FIDE Blitz rating is real too, but they just weren't talking about that one. USCF rating is very important in the United States. You can't find FIDE rated tournaments. There's other countries that are like that. So the question is, why is puzzle rating higher than real rating? And generally that's true. If you are like, I don't know, a 2000 Blitz player, probably your puzzle rating will be higher. Although that's sort of a shaky statement in general. And then the reason is because your rating is not a thermometer, right? You get a thermometer and it's supposed to measure temperature. And if you put a thermometer where it is 16 degrees, you expect to always get 16 degrees. If it's inside and it's 16 degrees, if it's outside, it's 16 degrees. If you go to some other country where it's 16 degrees, you expect to see 16 degrees. The thermometer is measuring temperature, and if it's functioning properly, you expect it to always say the temperature it is, right? But ratings don't work like that because your Lichess Blitz rating is only for Lichess Blitz games. It cannot see your FIDE games. It cannot see your USCF games. It cannot see your puzzles. It is only your Blitz games. And the purpose of the rating system is not for you to try and guess your rating in another system. I don't think that would ever work anyway, because it's not a linear ratio, right? The purpose of the rating system is to give you a game or a puzzle that is neither too hard nor too easy. We want to find you an opponent. We don't want somebody that just totally wipes you off the board. That's no fun. We don't want a person that you are going to totally wipe off the board. That's no fun. We want them to be just right, in that Goldilocks zone. Same with puzzles. Okay? If we tried to make our ratings approximate some other system, lots of weird things would happen. For example, a lot of people will ask, or that they will point out or ask, whatever, that chess.com ratings are usually slightly lower than Lichess ratings. And they'll say Lichess ratings are inflated, which is not quite the right word. There is a such thing as ratings inflation, and this is not what it refers to. So at the lower levels, a user's rating on chess.com will probably be lower than it is on Lichess. I don't even know what the current comparison is. So maybe if you're 1200 on chess.com, you would be 1500 or something on Lichess. Don't yell 1600 in the chat. I don't know exactly what it is. But as you go up, right, the ratio does not stay at the same level. So at like 2200, you're suddenly they're very close. A person who is 2200 on chess.com is not going to be 2800 on Lichess. It's not the comparison anymore. And if you go even higher, then now Lichess ratings are higher than chess.com ratings. Chess.com has people at like 3100, 3200. I don't even know what it is right now. And Lichess usually doesn't. So this is why you should not look at a rating as the purpose of ratings to like predict another rating system. Because it's very difficult to do, and it cuts through the rating system's real purpose. Yeah, I'm throwing out a lot of numbers here that I'm sure are not precise, and pedantic chess players love to pounce on that sort of thing. So I don't see anybody in chat doing it, so good job, pedantic chess players. Well done. I was expecting people to be like, actually, that would be about 1650. Yeah, okay, whatever. You get my point. Let's see. Can you play a match now? No, I'm not going to play a match. We're talking. This is a conversation. There's not going to be any chess games, friend. Don't you like to talk once in a while? Let's see. I'm going to find another question. Have I taken a question from everywhere? Taken a question from chat. Taken a question from Instagram. I've taken a question... Oh, Twitter. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to go through some questions from Twitter real quick. I'm just going to pick some. Here we go. When will the master's database be updated? So this is... If you look in the database, this is not. There's two forms of the database in the analysis board. There are Lichess games, and then there's the Masters database game. I thought it was updated since 2019, but it's certainly been a while in any case. There's no really satisfying answer. I wish there was a strategic reason. We just haven't found a good way to keep the Masters database updated. Nobody has done it yet. If anybody has a good idea about how we could keep the Masters database more updated, more consistently, then I don't know. Let us know. Sorry, I know it's not a very that's not a very satisfying answer, but it's the truth. I wish I could tell you some exciting story about how I was attacked by ninjas on the way from the Masters database store, and they stole it, and we're trying to recover it right now. No. Let's see, what else do we have? Does the algorithm tend to pair lower rated players with high accuracy potential together in such a way that well-studied legit players have very little chance of playing non-cheaters? No. The answer is no. If we're talking about public seeks, where you click on a button on the homepage and the thing spins and you're waiting for somebody to come play you, the only thing we care about with that seek is rating. As I said just a second ago, we are trying to find someone close to your rating and as quickly as possible. So there is an algorithm that tries to balance how close it has to be to your rating with how long you wait. We don't want you to wait too long. We don't want the rating difference to be too insane. Yeah, there's nothing called like accuracy that plays into seeks at all. Juegui17, Lichess is awesome. I live there rent-free. Okay. Bughouse we talked about. Kind of like gambling games. Like when I challenge a given player, first to 100 receives X pre-agreed. Yeah, that could be fun, I guess. So this is like poker chess or something. It could be fun. The things I said about feature requests before sort of apply to this. Like, when I hear this idea, it's reasonable. Like, that could be fun. I might do that. I wouldn't expect it to be on Lichess in the next week. It adds a lot of complexity, and yeah, this is just one of those reasonable ideas that goes into the reasonable idea pile. And not all of those ideas ever come out of the pile. What else do we have here? Ooh. In this case, I'm going to read some chat here. In this case, the algorithm is wrong. I received opponents rated with 300 points or more higher rated. I never said that couldn't happen. It is absolutely possible to get paired with people that are 1 or 2 or even rarely 300 points away from your rating. If you are on one of the extreme ends, it probably happens more than that. If you are lower rated or higher rated, there are less people at that level, which makes them harder to find, which means probably your average rating difference will be larger in those areas. The algorithm only does its best. It cannot guarantee success. If you're rated 2243.5, we cannot guarantee that we will find you an opponent rated 2245, 43.5. What did I say? I should have wrote that down. It does not seem that Lichess employs automated cheat detection. Why not? We employ massive automated cheat detection. Literally every game played on Lichess is subject to automated cheat detection in one way or the other. We rely heavily on automated cheat detection. In the tweet and in the forum post, I said that I wouldn't talk about specific cheat detection methods, and I won't, but we can still talk about cheat detection a little bit. I don't think I'm giving anything away when I say we use tons of automated detection. You have to. You have to. There are, I think 3 or 4, I haven't looked at the number today, 3 or 4 million games played on Lichess every day. And we have a large moderator team, but not large enough to check 3 million games individually every day. You have to have automated detection, right? The human moderator's job is not to check every single game played. They could never do that. Their job is to take what's left after the automated detection is through, the really hard cases. The easy ones can be handled by a bot. The hard ones require a person. How does Lichess stop people from using a VPN to make more accounts and avoid getting banned? Well, we are straying into the area of specifics that I can't go into, but I think suffice to say, we have lots of tricky ways of identifying people, and we use all of our bag of tricks when people inevitably get banned and try to use a VPN to get back on Lichess. If you are a person watching and you have been banned and you got the bright idea that you're just going to get a VPN and make a new account, you are not the first person to have that idea. It is not quite that simple. Can I say that no one has ever got banned and made a new account? Of course not. But it is not as simple as simply getting a VPN and making a new account. I can say that. Oh, pre-moves. That was the other one. Can I name somebody asking about pre-moves? Where are you, pre-move question? Okay, I can't find it, but people are asking... Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show this question. This is very professional. Okay. Why no multiple pre-move system on Lichess? By Yash BTW on Instagram. Again, this is sort of like Bughouse. It's not an accident that there's no multiple pre-moves. We don't want to have multiple pre-moves. I always get slightly nervous answering this question because multiple pre-moves would be a feature, and pre-moves in general are a feature for very fast chess. Bullet and blitz chess mostly. And those are not really my drug. I play blitz mostly with increment. So of course I use, pre-moves, but I don't lean on them as heavily as you would in like 1+0 or Ultra Bullet. My understanding, my somewhat neophyte understanding of bullet chess, is that having multiple pre-moves lowers the skill ceiling a bit, which is something we don't want. If you are a person like, I don't know, Andrew Tang, who is impossibly fast with your mouse and impossibly skilled in that sense, I think you deserve to get credit for that. I think you deserve to be more likely to win the game. And if you can play 17 moves at once, being fast is not quite as useful. Okay? If you have to play each of those 17 moves one by one, you are more likely to see the difference between a player like Andrew Tang and a player who is not as good or not as fast as Andrew Tang. That's my understanding of the issue. Again, I'm sort of speaking of a different tribe here. So if anybody who is in the tribe of super fast chess players would like to comment on that issue, I would absolutely listen. What do you think, chat? Chess shouldn't be a game about flicking your mouse around. Personally, I agree. I do not play such chess. I play 3+2 like an old man, like the old grandpa I am. However, if another person would like chess to be about flicking your mouse around, why not just let them have fun? Why should I tell them how they're supposed to play chess? I also don't play, 90-minute games. That seems crazy to me as well. Should I go out and stop people when I catch them doing that? Everybody can chess in the way that they enjoy the most. Why allow pre-moves in the first place, given that over-the-board chess has no such feature? I'm glad you said that, friend. Who was that? Something Stream. I can't see the whole name. The question was, why allow pre-moves in the first place, given that over-the-board chess has no such feature? Well, comparisons to over-the-board chess, I think it's safe to say, play no role in our decision-making at Lichess. If something is done a certain way in over-the-board or not done a certain way in the over-the-board, that just doesn't enter into the decision. That's not how we think about things. The way we think about things is, does this make the website better or worse? So, is a Lichess with pre-moves better or worse than a Lichess without pre-moves? You can have whatever opinion on that you want, but that is the question. That's what we care about. Right? There's lots of things in over the board that you don't do in online. You don't hit the clocks. There's no touch move. Lots of things. Yeah. You can't make illegal moves. That's true. That's true. What about adding 3+1 to the front page, or maybe consider 2+1? Well, okay. So let me show the homepage again, I guess. Oh, that's not the homepage. Here is the homepage. Go to the homepage. Was anyone listening earlier when I talked about how when you implement something on a website, you never, ever, ever want to take it off? You never want to take it off. Oh boy, do they get mad when you take something off. Oh boy, do they get mad. So as a result, we don't really want to change these presets. The ones you're looking at in the middle of the screen. 1+0, 2+1, 3+0, 3+2, 5+0, 5+3, 10+0, 10+5, so on and so forth. I'm sure that people can make an excellent argument that in the gaps here somewhere, there is a time control that we've missed that would be very powerful, that would be powerful. It would be very popular. They would instantly be, the best time control on Lichess. They may be right. In order to add it, we have to take something away. And we really try hard to not take something away. So these are the presets you get. Obviously, you can challenge to any time control you like, but it will be a bit slower to get the game because we're pushing people towards these presets. Why do we use presets at all? Why not just let people pick any time control they want? Just 7 plus 2 3/4, whatever. Just pick 2 numbers and there you go. That would be very, very inefficient pairings. If you let people pick their own time control, there would be a person who wants a 3+2 game and another person who wants a 3+1 game, but would be willing to play the 3+2 game, and the person who wants the 3+2 game would be willing to play the 3+1 game. They don't really care that much. And they're both just waiting for the game. Just not playing chess forever. No chess, no chess, no chess. It's a tragedy. Oh, I might cry. It's so sad. Instead, if you have presets, they both just pick 3-2. They're both just playing right away. I have experience with design, and I have an idea that I think is very good. Our design idea is welcome. If so, where should I send it? If you have a design idea, or if you have a new piece set that you want to add, or anything along those lines, I would suggest making a submission on GitHub, on our GitHub page. And I would suggest having no expectations when you make the submission. It is a submission. If you prepare a whole website redesign, we could love it and implement it, or we could not love it, or we could think it's nice but not want to change things. So it is a submission only. Speaking of GitHub, why is Lichess made in Scala and not in any other languages? That's a question for a dev. I am not exactly a dev. I'm the guy who does Twitch streams. But I know lots of devs, and I've hung out with them for years. So I've gleaned some knowledge. My friend and colleague Thibaut is a big fan of functional programming. And I suppose that would make Scala at least one of the logical choices. Somebody asked, if you want to know, you need to go to one of Thibaut's streams that he does once in a while and ask him. Why does the Lichess server restart every day? Well, it doesn't restart every day. There is no fixed restart schedule. It's something like 1 to 3 times a week. And that number goes up a lot if there's some new feature that needs a lot of hot fixes, and it goes down if there's nothing much happening. But basically, the server updates are needed to add new things. If you want new things on Lichess, we have to turn the website off briefly, and then quickly add the new things, and then quickly turn the website back on. And those restarts, assuming there aren't any massive code changes or anything special going on, are generally relatively smooth. I would guess most people, if you're playing a game when a restart hits, that game will probably survive and you'll be fine. People are tagging Eric Rosen. Did he ask a question? If I go searching through chat for the Eric Rosen question, am I betraying the egalitarian nature of Lichess? V Sim says, "Oh no, my question." Yeah, I think I would be. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe people saw the Eric Rosen question and now they want to know too. Maybe it is egalitarian. Maybe he speaks for the people. The one problem with this is that I didn't see the question. So I don't actually have the option to... Can somebody TLDR it? Could somebody... Chat is moving too quick. Chat is moving too quick and it's causing problems. Could you people be less excited about the stream, please? Just tone it down a little bit. I know I'm amazing, but behave yourself. Can I control F the question here? Where's my... Come on, control F. I'm counting on you. Oh, was it about followers? Ah, here it is. Did Lichess remove follower accounts? Yes, we did. I talked about it earlier. The TLDR of why we removed followers is that we think it will lead to people interacting with a follower system in healthier and more rewarding ways. They will, instead of watching the number inch up and it's never inching up as fast as you'd like it to be, people can just make cool things, and you'll be able to see, to a certain extent, how many people are seeing those things, because you can still see likes on blogs and likes on studies, and you still see your followers going back a week, but you cannot see the one number. Yes, that's the plan, anyway. There is some precedent for that. Tumblr did not have public follower numbers, and I am not super familiar with Tumblr and like what the culture was there. I know what the stereotypes are, but I'm not gonna. We don't traffic in stereotypes here at lichess.org. But I'm told that Tumblr had no public follower counts, and it led to a very egalitarian atmosphere. I have caught myself. I will be totally honest, and I'm not super proud of this, but it is true, and I don't think I'm the only one that does this, and I wasn't even really doing it on purpose. I get 1,000 messages a day. 1,000. I get emails to my personal email. I get emails to the public Lichess email. I get Lichess direct messages. I get Twitter direct messages. I get Facebook messages. I get WhatsApp messages. I get so many messages. And I sort of have to decide like who I'm going to talk to, because I can't talk to all of them. And I have caught myself like looking at follower counts. Like somebody messages me and I'm like, oh, 1 billion followers. Well, this is a big fish. We gotta talk to this person, which I probably shouldn't. And now I can't. At least on Lichess. I can still see your follower counts on Twitter, so you're still getting discriminated against on Twitter. But on Lichess, I am now non-voluntarily forced to be egalitarian. It's probably a good thing, right? Right? Is the opening information on the analysis board new? Yes, it is. Would you like to see it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. So we added something new like a week ago, maybe, where we have some human analysis next to every move you make. This is a pretty cool feature. I like this. The analysis comes from either Wikipedia or Wikibooks, which is a very cool synergy because Wikipedia is also free software, just like we are, and is very like open data the same way that we are. I don't know if that's a phrase. So it's cool that we could work together. A lot of people don't know that computers are not the only way to analyze chess positions. You could also get human beings and show them the chess position, and then they say things about it, which is not as precise as Stockfish, but has some value as well, in my opinion. Is this something that will be expanded on as time goes on? Probably not, because you're not going to find Wikipedia articles. Well, you're not going to find many Wikipedia articles about a variation that's like 35 moves in. I mean, the pedants and Chant will probably find some Botvinnik semi-Slav variation that has a 17-page Wikipedia article, but that's an exception. I think we all agree. Let's see. Can I find another question somewhere? I want to find a question maybe like on Twitter that didn't come in until I started streaming. Okay, here's one. This is an easy one. Abu Mahmoud says, I notified by Lichess I lost to someone who violated the Lichess terms of service, or I did not cheat or did not... Yeah, we didn't say you did. Those notifications say you lost to someone who did. So yeah, we're good. We're not upset with you. We were helping you. That's an easy one. I should only take the easy questions that have like 2-sentence answers. Those are the ones I enjoy the most. It's hard to answer these questions that are, have gray areas and things are unclear. There's a lot to explain, a lot of history. I like things where I can just say a sentence or two. Oh, here's one. I know this person. I know this person from Twitter. I mean, we're not close friends or anything, but I know who they are. So we're going to do some nepotism, and I'm going to answer their question. This is Pulsey/Ashley at Pulsey Dulcie. How are you today, Mr. Nojoke? I'm good. I'm well. You're supposed to say I'm well. That's the grammatically correct. How goes the Stockfish Leela devs versus the devs of Fat Fritz 2 lawsuit? Well, I'm not Lichess is not a party to this lawsuit, I should say. So we're not like receiving legal briefs from the lawyers or anything. This is Stockfish versus Chessbase. My understanding as a non-German lawyer is that the German legal system is very slow-moving. So this one's going to take a while. Stockfish has filed the lawsuit. The court has received those papers. It has been passed on to the Chessbase people. And we will very, very slowly move things forward. Well, not we. They. All right. What's another question? It's a lot more work to not take questions from chat. I'm noticing this. The previous system of taking questions was to just kind of turn towards chat, just pick one out and go. And man, that was easy. I miss it. Oh, here's a good question. Why does this channel have advertisements? Isn't Lichess anti-advertisements? Yes, it is. Don't you swear to never put ads on anything? Didn't you say you'd never put ads on anything? So why are there ads on your Twitch channel? You dirty hypocrites. Well, it's a fair point. Let's discuss. It is not possible to turn off ads entirely on Twitch. Or at least I don't think it is. If it is, please let me know. You have to have some ads. You also cannot turn off subscribers. Well, you can never apply for it, I guess. But there are limits. So Twitch has to have some ads. So the decision would not be, do we have Twitch ads or not have Twitch ads? If it was, that would be easy, no Twitch ads. The decision is, do we want to have a Twitch channel or not have a Twitch channel? So the decision was made to have a YouTube channel, even though YouTube shows ads, and to have a Twitch channel, even though Twitch shows ads. And we go into the settings and we turn down the ads as much as we can. And in my opinion, it's worth it. You have to live in the world before you can change it. So that was the decision we made. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, people are answering questions in chat, which is very useful. Lichess refers to libre, free in the sense of free speech, not free beer, although it is also free beer. Lee stream with no ads was an idea. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. I support leestream.org completely once it exists. It is slightly outside the scope of the Lichess project. Is there a song that teaches me how to pronounce Lichess? There is not a song. There are 2 songs. Arrows on mobile. How would you even do arrows on mobile? There is no right click, is there? That's a tough one. I've heard people ask for arrows on mobile before. What are you using? This is going to sound like I'm criticizing the feature request, but I'm not. I want to understand it. What do you use arrows on mobile for? I assume arrows are mostly for demonstrating. Like I'm doing a Twitch stream right now, and I would draw arrows to show you which squares are doing which things. But if you're on mobile, I assume people aren't really watching you. And how would you do it? Because there's no right click. Would you do this like iPhone double finger thing? Long press for arrows. Ooh boy. I think people would get really mad about long press for arrows. I think people would be making a move. I mean, this needs to be tested. I could be wrong. I think people would be making a move and they would hesitate for a second and they would accidentally make it a long press and they would be trying to make a move and they would instead draw arrow and they would send us emails that are 85% curse words because they are so angry. Perhaps 90% curse words. They could even be that angry. People stream on mobile? Okay, I believe you. Just a selection tool and arrow tool. You could do that. Let me for anyone making a feature request, let me give you a little bit of advice. Because I make feature requests too. My job at Lichess is sort of community and content. And I go to the devs and ask for things just like anybody. I want this or that because it's good for streaming or it's good for some tournament organizer. So I have years of experience begging for features to the Lichess devs. And as a veteran feature requester, let me give you some advice. Whatever feature request you're making, if you start to say, just make a button that does it, or just put it in the settings, you're losing them. So if there's something that you want the board to do, and the devs say, well, not everybody wants to do that, and you say, well, we'll just put a button. We'll put an extra button on the interface, and that button will make you do the thing or not do the thing. You're losing them. You're losing them. This is a losing fight. Or if the devs say, not everybody wants it, we'll put it in the settings. Just add an extra setting. You're losing them. Because Lichess has very minimalist principles. Okay? If you have an interface with 7 things and you put an 8th thing, the other 7 things are now slightly harder to find, right? So you do not just add a button every day for a new thing. You do not just add a new setting every day for a new thing, right? Some of these things you just don't do because it makes the whole project better. Or you do it with user styles and extensions or the API. So that you can do it, it's possible to do it, but it's not part of the native vanilla interface, if that makes sense. How to get a blue arrow. I believe you hold Alt to get a blue arrow. I think red is Control. It's one of those buttons. Yeah, so when you're requesting the feature, like, stick to your guns, say it's good, say everyone wants it. Don't fall back to just make a button or just make a setting. Yellow arrow. Is there a yellow? There's no yellow arrow. All right, let's find another question. This stream's going quick. Alt plus Shift? I never knew! I never knew! You people should be doing this stream and I should be... That's amazing. Alt F4 for the rainbow arrows. I'll try that one later. I believe you. We'll try that one later on. Any other questions? Let's see. There are too many people that just like say thank you. That's not a question. I need a question. No, that's very kind. I'm kidding. What's another question? Oh, here's some good questions. Here's some good questions. Let's put these up here. All right. Bullitzical from Instagram asks, new features? Question mark. No. No, not really. There is something the devs are kind of working on, but I'm not going to tell you about it. Sorry. I've been sworn to secrecy. Lichess doesn't ever announce new features. I've talked about this before, so apologies if you've heard the whole rant. I'm going to launch into it again. Lichess doesn't announce new features because why would you ever announce new features? That's crazy. Why does anyone do it? I suppose the reason they do it is for like commercial reasons. You see these video games where there's a video game coming out a million years in the future. There's a video game coming out in like 3046 and they're announcing it today. And not only do they announce it today, they tell you everything it's going to do. They tell you all the guns you can have, all your different characters. They tell you all the different places you can go to. They tell you all the cool things you're going to have. And they haven't done any of it. None of it is ready. And the problem is when these devs sit down to, implement their, gyrating 3D cowboy hats or whatever that they've promised, they may discover that it doesn't really work, that it's kind of a problem. And they've already promised they're going to do it. So we at Lichess do not get ourselves in that sort of pickle. We will announce stuff when it's ready. And before that, you don't get to know, because at any point, we can decide, we still have the freedom to decide this is a bad idea, we're not doing it, this isn't working. Or we can decide that we're not doing some aspect of it. If we've already told you that we're doing it, and then we don't do it, that would make us liars. And we do not want to be liars. What if Lichess runs low on money? I guess we'll try to find more money. That is a bridge that we will cross when we come to it. Why are Lichess not accepting non-FIDE titles? Are you FIDE servants? Did you read the last blog post? Being FIDE servants is not something I'm often accused of. We do accept non-FIDE titles. We accept National Master from numerous national federations. I don't know what other titles you might be referring to. The National Master titles we accept are usually, or don't accept, like the deciding factor is usually that it has to be at least roughly comparable to a FIDE title. So if you are much, much, much lower rated and you get National Master in some country, we're not gonna verify that one. And practically, it has to be easy for us to verify online. So if there is a country that has National Master and it's reasonably strong, and the way you verify it is that you call, a guy that works at a convenience store at 3 p.m. on Tuesday and ask for Jim. We're not going to do that. That's like, that doesn't work for our workflow, There sort of needs to be a website where we can just look and see a name and, okay, this person is legit. So if you're strong enough and it's easy to verify, you can get the National Master from your federation. Let's see, what else do we have? is quite a question. Oh, a lot of people asked about profiles, pictures and profiles. I don't know where that is right now, but people asked about it. You can have pictures and profiles. You can have profile pictures. You put in a Imgur link, and that will appear in your profile. Can I think of somebody off the top of my head that has a picture in their profile? I think I can. Yeah, here you go. Look at this. Look at this. It's brilliant. Oh, it's a rose. Oh, it's like doing LSD. It's crazy. Oh, thorns. It's a metaphor for life, and now it's a ring. Oh, a goose. It's a ruberous goose. A goosuberous. Amazing. Amazing. Who doesn't enjoy that? Is Lichess covering the upcoming World Championship a field report on game days? Yeah, we will definitely be doing things for the World Championship. We will have people on site. Or, well, there's at least one person confirmed to be on site. Well, no, there's two. There's at least two Lichess people that I know are going. Possibly more. The exact contours of that coverage is yet to be known. We will certainly have blog posts. We'll probably have streams. We'll have the moves. We'll have the games on a broadcast, obviously. Is there a function planned that allows you to create puzzles of, for example, the last 100 games that played to repeat tactics from your own games? No, not in the near future, but you could do that yourself by running the script that we ran to get the puzzles. Let's see if I can find it real quick. One moment. My esteemed... The puzzles that are on Lichess come from a script that was made by my esteemed colleague Thibaut. And let's see if I can find it. Man, this guy has done a lot of programming. If you're looking for something that Thibaut has done and you just go to his GitHub page and start looking, you are staring into an endless ocean of software. Anyway, we're going to do some control Fing. Here we go. So here is the script we use to make our puzzles. And here's what you can do if you are a person of the devy sort, of the devy persuasion. It's not even, I think you don't even really have to be a dev. You're just running the script. You're not writing it. You download your games from Lichess. You plug them into the script, and it will give you puzzles. And that is the same way that we get puzzles. Let's see what else. Have you considered adding a delay time control as opposed to just increment? Not really. My understanding, and I may not be in the best position to know these things, is that Americans are the only ones that do delay. Is that true? Help me out, Europeans and Asians and Africans and South Americans and Australians and Arcticans. I'm told that delay time is only used by Americans. If that's true, that makes it less likely to arrive. We don't use delay in Antarctica. Thank you. Thank you for noted Antarctican chess champion VSIM. Oh, what's delay? So, delay time controls are sort of like increment, but they don't add time. So if you have a 5-second delay, that means that when it's your turn, the clock simply doesn't start for 5 seconds. It doesn't add 5 seconds to your clock like increment. And of course, the effect is that you can't build up more time. but you also won't ever get down to 0. My understanding of the advantage of delay is that, or what I've heard from OTB organizers, is that it helps you meet a schedule. So if you have increment and you play a very long game, that can make the game much longer time-wise than you would expect it to be if they play 150 moves, which happens once in a while. And that sort of problem does not arise with delay. Delay, keep it moving. I'm not sure if that sort of thing would be so valuable for online chess, but somebody would use it. If people ask for it, then somebody would use it. What is the policy on shared accounts like for streaming? I also saw people creating separate speedrun accounts. What is the policy here? Please don't do speedruns. They are against the rules. Speedruns don't work. Let's talk about speedruns a little bit. First of all, as a dedicated speedrun fan, and I'm not talking about chess speedruns, I'm talking about real speedruns, those are not speedruns. The things that streamers do, not speedruns. Stop calling them speedruns. It's not the right word. If you enjoy that, then that's fine, but don't call it a speedrun. Speedruns are video games. You have some set criteria that's the same every time, and you do it over and over again. If you're playing random people, it can't be a speedrun. Anyway, the other thing you need to know about speedruns, the ones you see on YouTube or Twitch, is that they're not real. They're fake. They are so fake. What you're seeing happen on the screen is not happening. It's all made up. It's all make-believe. If you make a new account on Lichess and you try to do a speedrun, if you're like a strong player and you make a new account, you have a 1500 rating on Lichess, and you're like, let's see how fast I can get up to my real rating. You're going to get there in like 5 games because the rating system is designed for exactly this situation. When there is a new account, the rating deviation is very high, which means the rating will jump around very quickly. So you'll win the first game and get 200 points. You'll win the second game and get 200 points. You'll win the third game and get 100 points. And then like very quickly you're at your real rating, which is what should happen. We don't want people to be stuck at some low rating because they haven't played enough games. We want to quickly get them to where they're supposed to be, right? So the only way you can do these speed runs where you play 1 million games and you're getting 6 points for every game is to manipulate the rating system, is to add artificially low rating deviation so that it will take an artificially long time to get to whatever rating that you want to get to. Now, I say nothing about the quality of the content. If you enjoy watching speedruns, enjoy it. I won't tell you what to enjoy or not to enjoy. Just keep in mind, they are not real. I hope that makes sense. I really am not criticizing anyone that does a speedrun. I don't care what people put in a YouTube video, but the one thing that I don't especially like about speedruns and why we don't allow it on Lichess is that I don't think you should play unknowing players with a super underrated account who have not agreed to play you. For me personally, if I had a chance to play Magnus and he has a 1500 account, I would play him. I don't care that it would, cost me more rating than it should cost me because I don't care that much about online ratings. The problem with that is that I won't tell other people what they're supposed to worry about. There are people, plenty of people, who do care about online ratings, and they're allowed to care about it. I would never presume to tell them what is important or what they're allowed to care about. And those people, some of them at least, would be not very happy to play a Magnus account rated 1500 because they have, for all practical purposes, no chance of winning, and the account's rated 1500, so they're going to lose rating in a incorrect way because of this new account. I think anyone who does that sort of thing, the people they're playing should agree to it. You can refund points later, but the person still wasted their time. They didn't agree to it. That's my feeling. What do you guys think? I mean, my understanding of speedrunning and why people like it is because you get to see them play lower rated players. And I get that. Like, I understand the value in that. But can't you just play lower rated players? Just go play them. Why do we have to have fake ratings to make it fun? Oh, shared accounts. Let's talk about that too. Let me see if anybody has anything to say about speedruns. We use TypeScript for the front end to answer that question quickly. Shared accounts. So if somebody is in chat and could link the shared accounts, we have a document that explains things. Shared accounts are allowed if you have, say, like an organizational account where the account is used to like manage a team or post in a forum or send private messages to people and coordinate. That's okay, obviously, because what we really care about is like two different people playing rated games. Streamer accounts where there's more than one person playing for the purposes of a stream are also okay, but please only play against people who know who they're playing against, I guess. Yeah, there's the FAQ. Thank you, T-Best. How often are translations updated? Every time the site updates. I've never seen a site update that didn't have new translations in it. I don't actually go into the code and like make sure there are actual new things in there, but I believe every time the site is updated, new translations are added. Oh boy, let's see. What's another question? I've been too efficient answering the questions. I'm chopping down these questions like trees, one after the other. Chop, chop, chop. The recently added pictures of cats and other poor graphics for the topical contributions break the simplicity and beauty of the main page. Can they be dropped again? I don't think there are pictures of cats on the homepage. Am I wrong about that? Are there pictures of cats on the homepage? Let's go look. I might be wrong about that. Let's see what we got here. So I assume you're talking about these. This is the only new stuff, the blogs. I don't see any cats. I see an article about the last titled arena. I see Chess Network's blog on Bobby Fischer. And I see Fishy Vishy's excellent work on Fabiano Caruana and the French defense. It was a cute cat? Oh. Well, there could have been a picture of a cat at some point. I'm not saying there wasn't. I suppose the image files... I'm trying to remember what was there before. Yeah, maybe there weren't image files before. There was a blog section of the homepage before, but maybe it didn't have image files. I'm struggling. I'm an old man, and I'm struggling to remember what happened like 1 month ago. Yeah, the images, I'm sure, increase load time. For me, personally, they are worth it. Because these blogs are really good, and more people are going to see them, and... The other thing, it affects profile load times too. So there's a similar, if you don't like the pictures on the homepage, you probably, wait, I clicked on the wrong one. You probably don't like them on profiles either. So if I go to Chess Network's profile, they're also here. And he only has one blog, but if you had more, you would see, I think, up to 3. I think it's worth it. One little image file. We are certainly proud of keeping things small and lightweight, but, you know, there are limits. Nojoke, were you a free and open source advocate before Lichess? How did you get involved with the site? I was not. I didn't know what free and open source software was before I worked for Lichess. Keep in mind, when I say before I worked for Lichess, this is now many, many, many years in the past. I have volunteered for lots of different charities in my life, and Lichess was one of them. And I did for years and years, I did volunteer work for Lichess. I have never been an especially technical person. I'm on the internet, obviously, but I'm not a programmer. And through my good friends at Lichess, I learned about free and open source software and was immediately sympathetic and an immediate true believer. But I was not born into the free and open source software religion. I converted later in life, which I believe is like the stereotype is that I will be the most zealous one. I don't know if that's true. Please, please, please don't start overloading the site with crap. Control your Sam self. I don't think you have much to worry about. I don't think you have much to worry about. I'm pretty sure the devs are hardcore minimalists. Thoughts on adding a comments section to tactics? Yeah, I like that idea. I like tactics having a comments section, and it has been discussed in the past. There is at least a reasonable chance, some chance that you will see that at some point. It does have to be negotiated because there is organizational complexity. We talked about website complexity as far as maintaining things, but there is also organizational complexity. What is organizational complexity? Well, if there are going to be comments on tactics, those comments have to be moderated. So there will have to be human beings looking at them. And again, if we have comments on tactics, we are going to have to moderate them forever. For me, it's probably worth it, but we would need to talk to the mods. I would guess the chances of getting that on Lichess are much better than Bughouse. But I can't give any timeline. How big people-wise is Lichess now, if I may ask? That is a difficult question to answer. That is a very difficult question to answer. I was doing, what was it? I was doing an interview or something? Maybe it was Perpetual Chess, or maybe it was the NRK, the Norwegian TV station. But I was doing an interview, and I thought I might be asked how many people work for Lichess, and I wanted to look it up. And the problem with giving you a number, there are various problems. First of all, any volunteer-heavy organization, people come and go. People show up and they put in tons of work, and then they sort of fade away, and then they come back again. So is a person who is like clearly part of the team but hasn't really done anything in a while, do I get to count them? The other thing is that you have a lot of people who collectively do a lot of work, but a lot of them don't do much. They just do a little bit every day, or they do a little bit every other day. But there's so many of them that it ends up being a lot of work. So do I count somebody that does like 10 minutes every week? If I wanted to really like inflate the number, I could come to a really big number. I could probably get it up to like 150 or 200 or something. If I added up everybody who's contributed code, everybody who's done one translation, everybody who's taken one mod action, I would get some crazy number, and it wouldn't be real at all. Lichess has maybe 15 paid employees, most of them part-time. And then I think there are another, 50 to 80 people. It would be really useful if I could look at the stats right now, at who's taken a mod action in the last month, but I'm scared to do it because I don't want to leak anything. There have been some unfortunate website leaks recently that have scared me. So I'm guessing, but the number is somewhere in that area. There's a lot of us. There are a lot of us. How can I see outstanding dev issues and contribute code? Well, go to the GitHub page. Head to the GitHub page. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. You can see the outstanding issues. You can see commits. You guys want to learn a little secret? You want a little Easter egg? It's not an Easter egg. It's the normal way that GitHub works. If you want to know what stuff is coming up on Lichess, you can look at the commits. And you just click right here on commits, and you will see this. And you may think, I am not a coder, I can't read this stuff, and you won't be able to read some of them, but a lot of these, maybe most of these, are non-coder readable. I think, I'm super biased because I already know what all this stuff is, but I think that the average user could look at a lot of these and figure out what they are. Remove user blogs from homepage for kids. Does everybody follow that one? I think that one's pretty easy. There's a kid mode for Lichess, so we don't want them to see blogs. The point is to cut off communication, so we took it out. Crowdin update. Crowdin is the translation website we use. So these are new translations. This is a visual fix to the blog post grid. Also export ongoing games in the games API. I think people can follow that, right? Am I crazy? It would be fun to see how many times I've been reported. I take that as a compliment. Sometimes I look at my own account to see how many times I've been reported. I get reported a lot. People report me and say something nice. I looked just the other day, and one of the reports was like, hey, this guy's great. It's like, well, thank you, but why did you send a report? You know what? I changed my mind. That should be a real thing. We should have positive and negative reports. We're gonna implement that. We're gonna make that a thing. Not only do you report people who are rude or cheaters, you report people when you think that they are swell. Can we see that? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. People are silly. Do we have any other questions here? What else do we got? Nothing on Twitter. Looks like nothing new on Facebook. Oh, let me look in the forum. That's what we should do. Somebody's asking about Scala. We talked about that. People asking about new features. We talked about that. Bughouse. Oh, never seen that question before. Will there be an option to hide ELO? Well, there is an option to hide it. That's Zen mode. If you hit Z while you're playing a game, you won't see the ratings. You won't see chat. Just removes everything but the game and the clocks, basically. I saw somebody on Reddit make a user style that was called something like mental health chess or something, and it removed ratings like from everywhere. You just never see your own rating. And I want to try that. I've always been curious if I just never saw my rating ever, just never once ever. Maybe it would go up. Maybe I would break free of the chains of expectations and soar to new heights. It's possible. Or it would go the other way. I'd just be like 100 points worse. I'm slightly scared that I would turn it on and then turn it off 6 months later and I'd be like 500 points less rated. Probably not. Maybe I'd beat Stockfish. Probably not. Maybe that's the secret to beating computers. You just have to not know you're playing a computer. Oh, I think we're hitting the bottom of the barrel with questions here. Oh, here's a question. Here's a question. Can I show this? This is a question from Yeeter. Yeeter, will you ever add an openingtree.com type of analysis tool? Maybe. Maybe it's possible. The points against adding an opening tree type analysis tool is that opening tree exists. When we're looking at a feature, at making a new feature and whether or not to make it, if a feature is already available and already free, and we're not doing anything like super new or extra or added onto it, the motivation to make it is less. Because, I mean, the whole point of making the feature is to have it available for people. It doesn't matter if it's specifically on Lichess or not. If it's already available, then, well, there it is. I have been told that technically opening trees setup would not work at our scale. So we would, if we were going to do something like that, it wouldn't be a matter of, copy pasting opening tree. How do I ask a question? That is a question. That is a question. All right, let's see if I can find another one. Let's see. What else do we have here? How do I unask a question? A lot of people asking about when tournaments are scheduled for. This is a good question, and I don't have a super satisfying answer because I think it is a problem. And I would like to do something about it, but I'm not quite sure. The big tournaments on Lichess are generally, not always, but generally centered around like 7 p.m. UTC, GMT, give or take, because that is sort of our peak user time. And that is probably not especially fair to people in Asia, to people in India or China or Indonesia, because it's the middle of the night for them. It's not ideal for them. With the auto-generated like hourly blitz tournaments, it's fine because those are just always running. With something like a titled arena or a shield tournament, well, there's only one of them, and they either have to be at this time or at that time. So I'm not quite sure what the solution is. We could rotate and put the tournament at different times, maybe. We could run other tournaments more consistently. I kind of don't want to rotate because I like that people know that there's a certain time that it starts. I would prefer to do other tournaments that always start at that time, and we keep our TA that always starts at this time, and then we make another tournament that consistently starts at that time, instead of moving it around because people won't know when it starts and it will hurt participation levels. But I agree it's a problem. I don't have a clean solution for that one. Why not make more than one shield tournament, like late night champion, midday champion? It's reasonable. Very reasonable. I played against you a long time ago. I was completely winning by a piece and asked for a draw because you were scaring me. Yeah, that's sort of my plan as a chess player. I'm not great at chess. What I'm good at is intimidation. I play terrible moves. I'm totally losing, and then I just glare at you until you give me a draw. It's very effective. let's see what else we got here. All right. I think I'm about ready to sign off, guys. It's been about 2 hours. Got to go pick up my daughter at school soon. So let's do a raid. Who's streaming here? Oh, my good friend Sarah Herman is streaming. But what is her Twitch username? Let's do a raid for Ms. Herman. Zephcat with 2 T's. All right. All right, guys, we are going to do a raid. If I set this up correctly. We're going to raid my good friend Zephcat. She's a fantastic streamer. I highly recommend her. Go watch and enjoy and follow and subscribe. And this was fun. Thank you all for watching. If I didn't get your question, I'm very sorry. I tried to get as many as I could. Maybe I can get it next time. If you want to ask again, come to the Discord and ask in the Discord.